Hi everybody, I'm back again with another coloring video. This one was a request from HootandHolla, and she was wanting to see how I colored up the little Dee Dee image from the greeting farm with a dark skin tone. And as I was thinking about it, I thought that could be a fun one to try to see how I could work into a Christmas card. So I jumped right into this. And we're going to do her today, and since I already did a dark skin color combo video using the E30s, thought today we'd move down and do another dark skin color combination that I've used in the past using the E20s, E21, E23, 25, 27. So I'm going to start with my lightest tone, which is the E21. And this is basically just getting kind of a base coat of color onto her face. And we've got a lot of face to work with here on little Dee Dee, who's just adorable. She's always been one of my favorite little sprouts from the greeting farm. She's just a sweetie. And so I'm going to do this, and then I kind of pull up. And I tend to leave the center of her face white at first, since that's going to be my lightest area come the end. And I'll color her arms up, even though I think eventually, with what I'm going to do for a Christmas card, they're going to be snipped off. But to show you how I do it, I'll get the color on there too. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my E23, and I'm going to have a light source coming in more from the right over here, so my shadows and stuff are going to be heavier on the left-hand side over here. And again, I'm just laying the color right on top of the E21, not pulling as far down as I did the first time with the E21. And then I'm going to get her little ear, pull it around this way. And I'm still, getting some color on this side of her as well. Pulling up. Be careful of the whites of her eyes. I want to keep those white. And then down here underneath her sleeves, and so my shadow would fall on that side, but on this arm it's going to be on the inside of her arm that's further away from the light source. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my E25, and this is where I'm going to start. I've been so far kind of just laying the color down. I'm thinking in terms now of the shape of her head, and as I lay this color down, I'm going to kind of pull it from the sides the way, as it wraps around her face as it's curving away to the back side of her head. So I'm going to kind of change up the directionality, I guess, of how I'm laying on some of this color. And it's just going to start helping me create the final effect of her face having some dimension to it. I'm just getting the color on, pulling from this direction, and then like on this side, and I'm pulling towards the center of the face here. Don't want to forget the little ears. And I'm going to go more on this side, because again, that's where the light source is a little farther away. And down here on this side of the arm. Okay. Now I'm going to work my way back down to the E23. And from here on out, I'm kind of following my wrap around the face this way. pull it, turn it around and pull this way. And we're just starting to fill in that white area. From the bottom I am going to pull up into this middle part of her face. Okay, defining those eyes because I want to leave the whites of her eyes nice and bright. Okay. Now I'm going to take my, oh, don't want to forget her arms. We're just blending that a bit. Now my E21. And I'm going to actually use a circular motion here in the center of her face to blend that. And give her kind of across where the bridge of the nose, you know, where it would be. Kind of blend that. Okay. Hit the highlights on her arms. Now, to get some darker shadows, I'm going to take my E27 and I'm going to go right up underneath her hairline. Give myself a little shadow there. And then on this side of her face, I'm going to pull down with my E27. Since this is further away from that light source I created, I'm going to do the same on her arm over here. And just a touch of it there. And not much over on that side. I'm using it more just to create that shadow over there. So now I'm going to blend that in with my E25. Okay. Oh, and I also want to get in her little cheek color. I'm going to use E07 very sparingly down here because it can get a little red. And then I'll kind of blend over it now with my E23 as I'm just kind of blending these colors in with this final blend layer of blending. And the E21 one more time, just here in that center. Forgot my E23 down here on her arms. Wow, my voice is really hoarse today. Sorry about that. Okay. That is basically how I do that skin tone. And I'm going to move on real quick to her hair. And I'm just going to use the toners, the T5, 7, and 9, and the 100. And with my curly hair, how I like to do that. So I'm going to start with my T5. And I just use the very tip of the marker. And I create just kind of random little squiggles on the hair. And I'm just, again, like I always do, I'm starting with the light and I'm laying down color and I'm leaving white at first for areas I know I want to be my lightest. So I'm going to color in this part, but I know I want to highlight here on the hair, so I'm kind of avoiding that area to start with. I got a shadow cast by this bow and her hair here, but I want to get a little bit of a white highlight there as well. And then she's going to have it darker all along the hairline and underneath there, but I want to leave that white so it looks like there's light hitting it. Get underneath that. And then the little, her little ponytails, I'm just going to squiggle in. And, you know, the tighter I put the color on, the darker that area of the ponytail is going to look. So where I want, you know, more white highlights, I just leave a little bit more blank. And same over here. This one's going to be a bit darker just because it's farther away from my light source. But this side of it, I'm going to have more white left. Now I'm going to go up to my T7. And just kind of reinforce everything I just did. More little squiggles in these areas along this little, in her part. Back here. And this is a fun and easy way to do hair because it's very forgiving. You don't have to have perfect lines and, you know, just fun little curly hair. And it's just quick little flicks of the marker. Totally up to you. Okay, T9. And this is where we're getting dark, so we're really getting it to look like black hair now. And with this coloring, you know, I don't do a lot of blending because, like, I'm not really going to go back down and do a smooth blend over anything. I want to keep those curls individual looking in a way. Just keep squiggling it on there. Yeah, that's the technical term for everyone. Squiggle the color on. Okay. Now I'm going to go for some extra contrast by throwing in the 100. Just very little of it, but kind of underneath these bows, behind the bows, to help reinforce that they'd be casting a shadow back there. Far side of this little ponytail, in her part, back behind this bow, and underneath it. And even kind of down along her hairline a little bit. I'll reinforce there. Okay. Now I'm just going to jump all the way down to my T5 and kind of use it to fill in some of that white area. But again, not all of it. I'm going to leave some of that white for my brightest highlight area. And then from there I can just see if I have enough, you know, contrast and shading where I want it. And I think I'm going to take my T9 and I want to have the hair come out a little bit more from the part. And kind of up in there a bit. A little bit in here. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. And so, quick little easy way to do some fun curly hair. And I'm going to wrap up that video, but I'm going to come back in a minute and we're going to finish coloring up her outfit and get her ready to go on a card. So I hope you come back to watch that one as well. Thanks. Bye.